Alright everybody, in this brief video, I'm going to get straight to the point real quickly. The two definitions we're using today is the initial balance. A lot of people just call them IB indicators. Um, so it's the initial balance. So in simple words, what it is, it's price data which is formed during the first hour of trading session. And this sets the tone for the trading session. It often happens that that activity and the volumes of the trades during the first hour, they have the bigger significance than during the following hours. So we're going to do some examples. And then also, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the page, go ahead and do that, or go to viperfutures.com, and you can also start following us there. And there'll be blogs and posts and stuff that you'll email you. Just go ahead and subscribe your email right there at viperfutures.com. Okay, back to this. So initial balance is the first hour essentially of any market. Mostly right here we're talking futures markets. The price at the first hour of the US session. Okay, where it opens and where it ends, exactly 1 hour, in my case Central Time, 8:30 to 9:30. That is the initial balance. Okay. Now, what is the VWAP? I already have that here. This is this blue line over here, the volume weighted average price. That's the trading benchmark used by traders that gives the average price a security has traded at throughout the day based on both volume and price. Okay, so it's price and volume discovery. And it's important because it provides traders with insight in both the trend and the value of the security. So this can work both on day trading, even crypto, stocks, futures. Again, in this case, I'm just going to focus ourselves on futures because that's what we do. But if you look at VWAP, it's a day trader's tool during the trading session, and as I discussed what it means. So, okay, how I use it, I have ahead of me here a 10-minute chart of the ES S&P E-mini, and this is the Friday session here that happened on the 30th of July. So let's go ahead. Alright, so how I've been using it for my trading. What I've been doing with it is I keep this on my anchor time frame. Let's say this is my 10-minute chart here on the ES S&P 500 E-mini. I also trade Nasdaq, excuse me. And so what I'll do is I'll wait for the first hour now. I used to just start trading off the bat with the momentum of the markets. I have an algo also I use on NinjaTrader. So this is TradingView here, by the way. I'm using TradingView for charting. I have a Pro Plus account there. I've been with them for a couple of years. I like them for charting. You can chart almost anything available on TradingView. I do pay quite a bit of money for it, in my opinion, but it's beneficial in different ways, especially when it comes to like indicators that I want to test and try. Usually I can get them on their public forums for free. Somebody's coded it out using this Pine script that they have here, and it's great because versus on NinjaTrader, where I take advantage of my day trade rates, it's a great platform for day trading. Take advantage of my algorithm that I use when I get to a level. Away from that, whenever I want an indicator, it seems like with Ninja you have to pay somebody, and it's like $100 to $200, $300 at a time. Where here I can just get that, and I just and I can switch around and do anything I want. I can save charts, and it's mobile. I can set alerts. Usually when I want to set alerts for certain stocks in my Swing Trade IRA account, I use TradingView. So back to that. If anybody wants to know how to get these indicators, I'll try to link them here down in the description. So what I do is first, I wait now. I wait for the first hour. I let the initial balance build out. I don't even do the first 30-minute. A lot of people call the opening range. They try to play the breakouts of the ORB, opening range breakout. That's the first 30 minutes. It's been years since I've used that. In the initial balance, it's the first 1 hour. That's it. Now I'm looking to see, is there potential that this can break out past the IB high? And if it does, are we going to end up in a trend today? I'm going to start analyzing. So I'm still kind of waiting because, this is hindsight here, right? So if this wasn't hindsight and it's like this, we don't know yet. Are we going to start pulling back? Here it looks like we did, right? We start seeing a big candle coming in, engulfing over this screen. So I know I'm not going to be able to probably get in at the top, but I can capture a quick, a nice amount of points here, 6, 7, 8 points to the VWAP. So one of the main strategies is I want to see, and the reason I combine it with VWAP, I want to see price pulling back into the VWAP and then taking back off. Another thing that I want to look for is if price continues and breaks over the IB, usually this will become an intraday support. So I want to see like a V-shape or W-shape patterns here, testing, and then looking like the IB is holding. The initial balance is holding and wants to keep going higher. Then I'll go into trend trading charts. Okay, I'll go to my lower time frames. If I want to use tick charts, then I'll go to NinjaTrader because there's no tick historical data here on TradingView. So unless you want to use like a smaller time frame, like 3 minutes, or something like that to, to offset it, maybe a 2,000 tick chart. So there's, a trade-off, and this is why I use multiple platforms too. People have asked me in the past, and I think there's a great tool for everything. And so when you're a little more diverse, it helps. It helps my edge at least. So okay, so that's what I'm looking for. If it holds up and we see price coming back into that VWAP, I want to take it all the way down into that VWAP. I want to take prices above it. If we get down in the IB lows and test it and we see an engulfing candle coming right here as it touches the initial balance low here, then you want to look for opportunities to go up, and this can be a short little scalp. This, of course, was end of the day, but this ended up implying to us that prices stayed, and especially on a Friday here, where normally yes would rally out, on a Friday, but prices stayed within the initial balance range, and you can clearly see how that worked. Some guys use volume profile for this or whatever. I think it was just getting too much cluttery for me. But whatever works for you. I respect volume profile and people that can use it accordingly. And occasionally I still do. Let's go to the next session the day before that. We can kind of see that happening here on ES, where price broke out in the morning open, and it didn't really officially create the initial balance until after 9:30, which was after this candle closed here. We broke out. After that initial balance, we also can see the VWAP, kind of like a moving average, is up in a 45-degree slope. Prices came back down, and this ended up becoming a support for the day. So you could have taken scalps around here for 3 to 4 points up and down. Now, how would you trade that again if it looks like it's becoming a trend day? This is not as extreme as a trend day because there's days, on your higher anchor like a 10, you can, start drawing your trend lines. And these are very subjective, so you just gotta do your own best with it. Don't follow a lot of other people's until you start knowing your own. And you just kind of make them up because you'll be able to start seeing when trends fail and they start going more sideways and they're attempting to go down because we can kind of see that. But you got to start doing the trend lines on your own again because they're subjective, and then go from there. So that's how I would just trade that. Oh, I'm sorry. My point was, you can come in there on your higher time frame anchor, which for me, 10 is fine. For day trading, I don't have to look at too many high time frame. In day trading, this is a big time frame. If guys use 15-minute or 30-minute. Of course, I look at my daily chart real quick in the mornings to see where overall, but then also I use, and this is for another day, a lot of different levels, weekly, monthly, and open, high, low, close from prior day. So I see that anyway with digital tools. So I don't have to get too far into complicating things with different time frames and then just making it harder for myself. Once I draw these trend lines, and if I went to a smaller chart like a 2-minute here for that day, let's go back and trace that day up here where that was right here, then I would look for opportunities there to buy on these pullbacks, right? Until it fails. And then it starts pulling back in as the day is coming to an end, down back into the VWAP. So these are how you can use the initial balance to first discover kind of like where the equilibrium is. Are we breaking out of it, becoming a support? Okay, small little uptrend, and then finally as it weakens up through the end of the day, loses power and comes and finishes under the VWAP. This day I remember was Thursday. I was trading Nasdaq, and I traded a similar chart like this on Nasdaq, as they're pretty identical, all the way down, and took small trades all the way through for almost about 400. It was over $400. And then this happened when I was done with my day, because look at the time. It was like 1500. And I remember I hopped on the phone with a family member and was telling him about this day here. And then as we're chatting, this all happened in the final 15 minutes. So some of you guys trading combines and stuff, you can't be trading too late. Don't feel like you missed much. What you just did is you took advantage of cleaner opportunity that was just there all day, and so that's how you can do that. So let me go to Nasdaq, and you could do this almost even like on crypto. It's just now that they're trading it in the futures markets, you can use look at the initial balances and erase that. Again, 10-minute chart. Initial balance finishes off here at 9:30. This where was that? So this was the candle here on Friday. Okay, we started downtrending right into the VWAP. Good place, as you see the green candle here, engulf over that red candle in a perfect spot. You're using some confluence at the volume weighted average price, and we make our way back up to initial balance, and that's 40 points on Nasdaq. It's a lot of points. Okay, here's places where normally I can say go long on my algo that I have. We have Viper Futures. We have an algo. It's the only thing I sell. I don't sell courses any longer. I don't have too much time for personal interaction. But here's where I would have my algo quick trade on. Again, I tell people we use our algos just to lift the weight off of you to do the job. So if I want longs, I want to just address longs only to my algo, and then I'll take longs, and it initiates all my long positions, and then also adds my trade management, active money management plan within it all at the same time. Okay, if I get to a goal quicker, then I manually manage that and I turn that off. So it's just used to be like your secretary, like your runner. Back in the days, the floor guys would say, "Oh, we had runners." It's your runner. We see here it comes back up to IB, comes up here, becomes a resistance, test down again for like a V test up here. Perfect pullback. Nasdaq is known to do stuff like this, and another opportunity short here. Of course, you're going to say here, possible. This is hindsight. You're doing this over. When you watch this stuff, guys, high probability trades, because prop firms use this tools that we're looking at right now, we're discussing, for the same things. So you're going to be on the side mostly where pros are, not just in the US, in a lot of different countries worldwide. So again, here we have initial balance, finishes up here at this candle. It gets really slow and nasty. It's not pretty this day, but you can take, this is a 10-minute chart. We're staying on the short end of this, so this IB is holding up as a resistance, the initial balance high, and there's a lot of move here in Nasdaq to be taking a lot of downtrend moves down with a shorter time frame. This is a 10-minute chart. How do we utilize this? As the day goes down, you can go down to your tick charts if you're using a different platform, or maybe to your 3-minute chart here, as I mentioned, like a 3-minute or 1 minute, whatever suits you. Let's go to a 1 minute. I don't trade much off one. Okay. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. This was the Thursday I was in it that I was talking about. So in this scenario here, you draw your trend lines down off of an anchor chart of your 10-minute and take every potential short. Now this is just would have been quite an emotional little day, but again, trend lines are subjectives. Yours might have been up higher here, and then you would have had maybe another channel in here, okay, like this. So this is another way. It's all subjective that you would have found, top channel and then a bottom channel, like a double channel way down, and taking these little moves every time it tested these areas here was good for 15 points. So you're scalping through here now. 15 points down, 15 points all the way down. So if you did it twice, 30 points, that's 120 ticks. If you did that with 2 contracts times $5 a point, it's a big day. so just ways, again, you can use that. And towards the end of the day, we made it back down to VWAP. So again, you're using it to find where the market kind of is headed, these two tools together, and then you can, on a strong trend day like this, I used to have a lot of trouble with this because I was getting used to trading ranges. you know, and you can draw your trend lines off of this and then just take your swings all the way up until otherwise the market is telling you based on your trend lines that now that trend is done, we're going sideways or we're switching direction. That's how you're going to know. Okay, but in the meantime, most of the time they say where these markets are ranging, no problem. Use your initial balance, use your VWAP, and try to fade back into the VWAP. You might have a couple of trades you're going to get stopped, but your winners are going to supersede if you keep a good risk reward. And this will help you do that too, and it'll help you build a little bit more patience because usually your moves back down into the VWAP is going to be pretty wide. Other ways some people trade IB is that I've heard out there is if the initial balance is wider than several prior days or its norm. I don't really personally myself been able to make that work because the market's so volatile these days and so quiet other day. It doesn't really benefit me to make a judgment because of the fact that the initial balance was so wide in the morning. Like when there's a Fed news in the afternoon, the initial balance could be really wide, and then you're just going to trade within that initial balance most of the day because nobody wants to do anything. So versus another day like where initial balance could be really wide and never comes back in. See? I even tested the 1x levels. By the way, initial balance, you can get more definitions on this on Google. Has also 1x and 2x levels. And so even when it tested there, it stopped for a while. It hit a wall, as you see, because professional traders are attempting to take this back down into value. But still, for whatever reasons here, maybe your earnings or something significant out there, news, just kept on rolling over through them, and it smashed through them here, broke out because a lot of people try to fade this. But what's the coincidence? It happened right on that line. There's no coincidence. Okay, you just can't make this stuff up. All right, so I just want you guys to know you can use this in your stock trading. You can use this, for Bitcoin, futures and stuff like that. Use your initial balance to first of all, give yourself patience, not get caught up in a bunch of bad moves. Give yourself then some equilibrium, some time to think what you want to do, how you want to strategize, and take less trades that day. If you have an algo, then prepare to turn it on, longs or shorts only, or whatever. Get your trend lines ready because it gives you enough time to get your if we're gonna trend, to get your trend lines ready, and then you activate your trades and you take as minimal trades as possible, and again, just increase your odds. Okay, so this combined with some different stuff you may already have in your trader's tool chest can help you improve your day trading. Look at this day as a final example here where we came up to initial balance. The initial balance was printed off over here. This it's going to be the 920 candle, and then so this was it. Initial balance printed at the end of the 920, and we took a nice ride right back up to IB, a nice ride down from VWAP, up down through IB and through VWAP. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nasdaq. It's 25 points up and down each way. Again, there could be some losers when it's reality, but if you keep them small and then ride these down and up, you had a lot. I mean, and by the way, at these points, I don't think you're trading all day anyway. But if you are that type of person and you must be there and get expunge all your nerves in one trading session because it can get nerve-wracking, by all means, that's your business. But you can do that utilizing this tool. Okay, now why is this area stopping here? Oh, well, this became because it's obvious. This is a resistance. It is, but it's a resistance due to the initial balance as well. Maybe some prior higher time frame as well. See? Okay, so yes, it's a form of support resistance. It's getting all that weight off of your back, doing a lot of the work for you using software and platforms these days that have the technology available for you to not overwork yourself and do too many preparation on your charts, lose that data, have to prepare again, and just use these tools that professionals use because they're using them. That's why they work, okay, most of the time. So all right, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope this video helps you. Using initial balance in the VWAP to find your market, whether you're going to be in a trend or a range day, establish your levels, and go from there. One more thing, look at this example here on NQ. Broke past the IB low. This was a sell-off day, but second 1x IB level held up like just a brick wall. Back to VWAP in the afternoon. It's 127 points back up after an extreme, sell-off day. Okay, profit-taking day, whatever you want to call it. On a day chart, it would have looked like this right here. This was that day. Okay, on a day chart. All right, everybody. Hope this helps you. Initial balance, VWAP. Watch the video again if you have to. Subscribe, by the way, on for our blog. You'll get some alerts or in our YouTube channel. So I know how to keep making more content here. Subscribe here, put your email, and then you'll get blogs of some content I do. And it helps me stay motivated to do more content because I'm not still as consistent as should be. And I know some of you guys want to see more stuff. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good trade week out there.